Lesson plan. A lesson plan is a written guide or document outlining the details of a particular lesson or instructional session. It is a tool used by teachers to plan and organize their teaching activities and to communicate their instructional goals and objectives to learners. Importance of lesson planning. 1. Lesson plan enables the teacher to sequence what is to be taught. Writing a lesson plan will give you the opportunity to determine which activity should come first, which should follow. 2. Lesson plan enables the teacher to identify and gather materials required for teaching. 3. The teacher becomes confident in presenting the lesson. The teacher can only be confident when he/she knows what to teach. 4. It makes the teacher to research, read and consult some sources of information. This can make the lesson more interesting. Factors to consider in planning lessons instruction. These are factors we should take note of in selection our topics, lesson content and activities. 1. Relate your topics to the goals of education for the nation or your community. For instance, if you are to teach your pupils about traditional festivals, you may not first fall on any textbook at all. Teach from the known to the unknown. Teach them about the traditional festival in their locality before mentioning those that exist elsewhere. 2. Examine the nature of the topic and its place in the syllabus and scheme of work. Furthermore, the place of the topic in the syllabus will help you know what concepts or skills have already been taught. You will also need to know what is to be taught in later topic so as to prepare them adequately for this. Information on the nature of the topic will help you to write better lesson notes. 3. The objectives you have written for the topic should guide you on how to deliver. The way you present your lesson obviously depends upon what your objectives are. Therefore, all the learning activities in your lesson plan should be those that will assist you to achieve your objectives. For this reason, you must always look back at your objectives to write your lesson plan. 4. The learning environment. The activities you plan to do will depend on the material available in a particular learning environment. For instance, the materials you will use in teaching a particular topic in a particular locality may differ from another. This factor should be considered in writing your lesson plan. Conditions of the classroom form part of the learning environment. If, for example, a classroom has inadequate furniture, you can decide to take some lesson outdoors. Features of a good lesson plan. A good lesson plan should have 1. General information or background variable. This includes the date for the lesson, the subject, references with pages of books from which you made the references, the class, average age of pupils, number on roll, day, time and duration of the lesson. These variables provide information that helps you to decide on the appropriateness of lesson delivery, content and strategies. 2. Lesson topic. The topic is the subject matter you are to cover in a lesson. Your topics should be short and concise. For example, parts of flowering plant or adjectives. 3. Objectives. Your objectives must state the value of the lesson to your learners. In other words, the objectives must state what skills, knowledge and attitude your learners are expected to acquire. Your lesson may have more than one objective depending on the time available. The teacher must remember to use performance verbs like list, state, write, discuss, name and identify in stating his/her objectives. 4. Relevant previous knowledge. The RPK consists of knowledge, skills, ideas and experience that your pupils have already acquired. This is the basis upon which you are going to build your new lesson. The RP must not necessarily come from a previous lesson. It could be some general knowledge they have acquired from daily experience. 5. Teaching learning material. Indicates the teaching learning materials to be used in a lesson. 6. Teacher-learner activities. This refers to the things we are expected to do as a teacher in the course of a lesson. It includes the methods of teaching, use of TLMs, at the right time and in the right manner, as well as other classroom interactions. These interactions may involve you and your pupils or among pupils themselves. 7. Core points. Core points are the skills, attitude, knowledge, ideas and other behavioral outcomes you want to develop in your pupils. They may simply be the subject matter content you expect your pupils to be conversant with. Your core point must be related to the objectives you have stated. 8. Evaluation. In the course of your teaching, it is expected to ask questions, give exercise in the course of your lesson, and after the lesson. These could be written or oral quizzes to pupils. These constitute the evaluation of the lesson. They form the basis for the remarks after the lesson. Evaluation helps you to determine whether you have achieved your stated objectives or not. 9. Remarks. Remarks are written after delivery of the lesson to indicate the level of success achieved and difficulties faced. Appropriate learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are descriptions of the specific knowledge, skills, or expertise that the learner will get from a learning activity, such as a training session, seminar, course, or program. Learning outcomes are measurable achievements that the learner will be able to understand after the learning is complete, which helps learners understand the importance of the information and what they will gain from their engagement with the learning activity. Types of learning outcomes. 1. Intellectual skills. With this type of learning outcome, the learner will understand concepts, rules or procedures. Put simply, this is understanding how to do something. 2. Cognitive strategy. In this type of learning outcome, the learner uses personal strategies to think, organize, learn and behave. 3. Verbal information. This type of learning outcome is when the learner is able to definitively state what they have learned from an organized body of knowledge. 4. Motor skills. This category is concerned with the physical ability to perform actions, achieving fluidity, smoothness or proper timing through practice. 5. Attitude. This is the internal state that reflects in the learner's behavior. It is complex to quantify but can be shown in the learner's response to people or situations. Indicators for a lesson. Cognitive learning is demonstrated by knowledge recall and the intellectual skills, comprehending information, organizing ideas, analyzing data, applying knowledge, choosing among alternatives in problem solving, and creation of new products or ideas. Effective learning is demonstrated by behaviors indicating attitudes of awareness, interest, attention, concern, and responsibility, ability to listen and respond in interactions with others, and ability to demonstrate those attitudinal characteristics or values which are appropriate to the test situation and the field of study. Psychomotor learning is demonstrated by physical skills, coordination, dexterity, manipulation, grace, strength, speed, actions which demonstrate the fine motor skills such as use of precision instruments or tools, or actions which evidence gross motor skills such as the use of the body in dance or athletic performance.